Hello,
Mm.
everyone.
Hi,
Good
Angel. How are
morning.
you?
Good
Yeah, good
afternoon.
morning.
Yes. So, we're going to start a little series for those of you that have been following us, and we are going to do 4 talks on the elements.
Hmm.
And this week, we are going to start with the earth, with the mother, where it
Beautiful.
all starts, right?
Where it all begins, where up is down and
Begins.
down is up.
So, Marita, do you want to share some of those teachings? Obviously, always reminding people we only share for 10, 20 minutes, and this is
Yeah.
just surface, but hopefully deep too, and some good scenes.
Yeah. I want to start with a quick little story. And it's not an indigenous story, actually. It's a story of astronauts. William Shatner recently, I guess, was able to go up into space with some billionaire. I don't know when that happened. And it was really interesting because there's this whole video, I think, that he posted or created, and he was talking about here he is this character that's always talking about space travel and going beyond and exploring, and everything is up, right? Spent most of his life like that character being. And then he said when he finally got there, he thought I was going to feel like this, oh my God, amazing expansion. And all he thought, he experienced the worst depression and ache in his heart and his whole life. And it's something that astronauts actually experience
Mm.
being up in space because they actually look at space as something that's dead, right? While looking back on Earth, being like, oh my God, that's where we come from. Look at how precious this emerald jewel is. And so I wanted to bring that down, right? Because whenever we're sitting in one element, we're always in relationship to the other. And in the stories and the philosophies and the ways that, I come from, this idea of ascension in paradise is actually a journey down into the earth, down into the mother, that the layers and the levels of there. And we're still discovering earth, right? There's an underwater ocean, right? That was discovered in 2014 and people are now rediscovering it. And so I wanted to just start with earth as not just a concept of what we walk on, but what we view with and rediscover our love and our passion for. And how these journeys and these elements are really about how are we in relation in the here and in the now, and how that journey, and you and I love to talk about dirt, is down. The stars and the seeds are below us.
Mm. It's beautiful. I love that. In the Andean cosmology, there are many stories and many teachings around the earth. That's where it all starts. Most medicine people or teachers I know and work with, they are farmers. They grow corn, they grow quinoa, they grow seeds, they work with seeds, and they understand the importance of the earth. Um, and pretty much every rituals or ceremony is centered around the earth, ultimately, in service of the earth. But it's also very connected to their action, to the way they live. And I think that's always what strikes me the most. Like, we can't really pray for the earth and understand the earth unless we create that intimate connection. And there is a story or a prayer. In many ways, stories are prayers and prayers are stories, that talks about the belly. So
Mm.
the prayer of the earth is the prayer of the belly, that we are in the belly. We are babies. We are growing in this blue belly, as they call it, which is kind of the experience of those astronauts. It's interesting what you share because those stories are millennia old, and people in the Andes, it's not really blue, right? Where they live, it's more mountainous, but they had this prayer called the prayer of the belly, of the blue belly.
Mm.
And it's a reminder that we are always in the belly. So think of your mother that you come from, you were born from a belly, and then you go into that big blue belly, and then you're going to return to another belly, another mother, and then come back to the blue belly. So they say you're always in the belly. And what it says, which is one of those qualities of the earth element, it's always connecting us back to humility, to us, that we have this big mother that knows, that is been here for way beyond times as we know it as humans, and it's going to be here after we're gone. And that if we acknowledge that we are in the belly and we depend on the belly for life, for nutrition, for sustenance, that we are going to inherently, immediately turn towards the care of the belly. It would be really ridiculous for a baby inside its mother belly to try to want to destroy it, to pollute the water, to harm it, to create anything that imbalance the belly. Right? So my invitation today is, as you connect to the earth and as you do your prayer, your ceremonies, or any actions, literally everything you do in your life, is to inquire into that belly, that relation. Because we can, even when we're very connected to the earth, it's kind of the earth is there and I'm there. I'm in connection to it. But being in the belly is a whole different experience. It's a whole different kind of prayer. And I think that's one of the stories I really like about the earth in that cosmology.
Yeah. I did a talk this weekend, and or maybe last weekend, who knows, and kind of reflecting back to these ideas and these notions of paradise, right? Of trees and beings and all of that. And we there was a time when we decided to stand up, right? We decided to stand up erect, right? And we moved away from the mother, right?
Mm,
Instead of having four hands on her, and yet we still call the bottoms of our feet the soul.
mm,
And it's really, again, we have this idea that the soul is above us or whatever, but the soul is what is on our feet, the most connected to the mother.
mm,
And so as we're having this discussion, right, I think a lot of people get overwhelmed of like, okay, I'm not a farmer, I can't do it. What does that mean? And how you walk upon this earth, right, will determine your relationship and the access to the stories that it will tell you, and the access to the knowledge, right? So many people want to transcend, right? Kind of want to beyond. And the thing is, you must earn that through your deep connection with the belly, with the mother, and being nurtured. So whether you live in a big city or you live out in fields, how do you walk upon this earth? That will determine, that is the prayer, right? And
mm,
there's so many walking meditations out there, right? Small ways of connecting is literally take your socks and your shoes off and go out and put your soul, put your soul on the mother and have her welcome you back, right? There's a lot of practices of grounding that are about tying into the center and the core of the earth. And it's like, number one, it's impossible, right? You're not that tall. But the ways that we teach is not digging into Mother Earth, which a lot of people say, I'm going to send a ground in, and is like, it is about sending this gift of who you are from your heart center and having her receive you
mm,
to plant you back, right? And I think we're just so used to acting upon the earth that we don't know how to be received by the earth. And so, a small thing that everyone can do today, right, as we sit here and talk, is go outside and ask the mother to receive you back. Connect your soul back to her and let her take you back in.
mm. It's beautiful. There is this, reminds me of this teaching in the end cosmology, kind of come really late in the medicine world, the teaching about the elders, which is the time where we access this other perspective, that we have shed our antlers and regrow them again and again. But as you observe, older people, they are slightly bended toward the earth,
Mm.
right? We bend a little bit. And very often, sometimes we need a walking stick. So we go from 2 legs to 3 legs. And really think about it, what it means, that this is this return. And we are literally preparing ourselves to go back into the earth. There's this descent, the one you were talking about. That in fact, it is a descent ultimately. Ultimately, we are going back to her. And we started as 4-legged little babies, right? It took us a while before we erect. So we still have this memory. The elder and the baby are the one that carry the wisdom in this cosmology. And it's interesting to see how they both walk on the earth. And here we are in between. I don't know, maybe you are an elder already, or maybe you're very young, hopefully not only your 4 legs anymore. But think about, the cane obviously is to provide stability. It's to provide guidance, but it's also, a metaphor for us returning with our 4 legs on the ground, returning with our full body on the earth. So my teacher always invite that when we do a prayer for the grandmother earth, to walk like grandfathers, to take a stick, to bend, and to walk slow. And he say, as you walk slow and as you bend and as you have a stick, you're basically connecting to the earth in a different way. You're going to earth speed. You're welcoming the grandmother as a grandfather. It's humility in many ways, right? To bend over and to go slow. And it's a beautiful practice to do. If you ever, go in the forest or go for walks, try to see if you can slow down, get a stick, and walk with a stick and see how your walk differ and what's your relation to the earth as you do that. I always enjoy it. And I will finish by saying there's this amazing flute that's called the grandfather flute in Peru that Tito La Rosa created. It's a very long flute to call the grandfathers. And these grandfather flutes, before you play it, you walk around the room, you walk around the circle with the flute as a stick. Despite you're going to play it in the air and toward the sky, the first things you do is connect it to the mother, walking with humbleness, devotion towards her, going at her pace. So it's weaved everywhere if we look at it, and it's waiting for us. It's right there, this connection, but we have to kind of humble ourselves. Remember who we are, the baby, the elders, whatever works, right? To connect more authentically, I think, to her.
Yeah, so beautiful. It's the ones who are the closest to the earth are the ones who more will easily forget all of this program because they're so connected to just being in that womb, in that blue belly.
Yeah. I mean, we have
Yeah.
the snake as a symbol, in cosmology of the earth. She is the closest, right? Belly to belly. She slides belly to belly on the earth. She's one of the reminder for us how to walk. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. So beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marita. Thank you, everyone.